We're women of faith with wisdom and grit, still figuring things out and laughing through it. Dating, healing, finding our niche. We're emotionally available-ish.
Welcome back to Emotionally Available-ish, the podcast where we talk about life, divorce, dating, healing, and most of all, our relationship with God. I'm Jada.
And I'm Valerie, and today's episode is a heavy one. You know, we're talking about numbness, the place where you can't feel anymore, the place where you can't even cry anymore.
Yeah. Yes, and you know what? This is really personal for you specifically, Val.
Yeah, this is the first time I'm telling this story from the beginning to the end, so bear with me.
I am ready to hear it. So kind of take me back to where your numbness started.
So it started after the affair.
Okay.
My affair. So what happened was I was walking through a divorce. We were legally separated. And it's so crazy. There's this game called, I'm aging myself, called Words with Friends.
Yes.
And I was on Words with Friends, and I did not realize there was a chat option on there. And so what happened was I had started getting messages, but I didn't pay any attention to them. So one day I finally decided to open up. There was this guy. And we just started chatting back and forth, ended up exchanging numbers. Mind you, I was separated at the time, but not divorced.
Okay.
And he was married, and he was going through something with his wife. And we just became, I guess, emotionally attached.
Yes.
And started to have this relationship.
Okay.
He was still at home. Of course, I was in my own place. And he lived out of state. So we started to have this emotional relationship. You know, when you're going through a divorce and all the things that you didn't get when you were married,
Right.
This guy was providing all that, saying all the right things. And so therefore we had this affair. I would actually go travel to see him, and we would go on vacation.
Oh, wow.
Which is the craziest thing, God. So what happened, where the numbness comes in, and the thing is, because I was still going to church, but I felt so bad. I was like a hypocrite. Like, how you in this relationship and you going to church? You can't do both. So what was there left for me to do?
I get it. So
I quit church.
Oh, wow. You quit church.
It's crazy.
Yes.
I ended up quitting church to feel comfortable in the relationship, even though I was convicted. And with that, I remember I was driving my daughter to school, and she said to me, "Mom, I don't like you. You're so mean."
Oh, wow.
And I was like, wow.
Heartbreaking.
So then it makes you think about, you know, you rehashing everything, the divorce you walked through and all the things you're walking through. Even at work, people would say, you know, she's a B. I was the B word.
Oh, wow. You were labeled, huh?
Yeah, because, you know, when you're miserable, you want everybody else around you to be miserable, not knowing that that's what you're projecting on the people.
Sure.
So with that, I ended the relationship, and then I can remember driving home from work one day, and I remember being numb. I remember just not caring, not feeling, not having any feelings. I had built this wall up that nothing was going to penetrate me. Because it literally took me a year to get over that relationship, because it was such an emotional attachment, like a soul tie.
Exactly, yeah.
And it took me a year to get over that. And after that, then I put up this wall. So there's this wall there that nothing hurts me. People could walk out of my life. We could be best friends. You decide you're gonna walk out of my life. Okay, bye. And so I had this wall, and I had this numb feeling, and it didn't break until just recently.
Oh, wow.
I didn't even realize it. So my daughter is getting married. I mentioned in the first podcast that my daughter is getting married, and she and her fiance bought a house. So even though I was an empty nester sometimes, because she's home, she's gone, she's home, she's home. I said, but then it hit me that weekend that she's not coming back.
Right. She's
So
permanent.
I am truly an empty nester. So I bought a house this year.
Yay.
And
congratulations.
Thank you. I bought a house this year. And what happened was I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is my life. You know, I'm not doing anything. Granted, I make candles. I go to church. I really don't go out a whole lot. And I was like, this is my life. And I literally had a meltdown.
Wow.
Just thinking about all the things, all the time, and all the time wasted. And it's like, dang, I am years old.
And what is Val? What does that mean?
I am 59 years old, and it's like,
wow, Val.
it's my life over. And then knowing that I'm going to be 60 this year, that bothered me so much. And it was like, everything felt like it was crashing down on me at one time. And I literally had a breakdown where I actually cried.
You cried? Not Valerie.
I cried.
Yes.
I cried.
That
like
means
an
a lot.
ugly cry. So I did the ugly cry, and it was just, it was very, it's just crazy that the things we think and how we justify. And I just remember driving home and even in my car, just crying out to God and banging on the steering wheel and just crying and like, God, what have I done with my life? Why am I feeling this way? What,
Yes.
just going back to Him, praying and speaking over my life. And that's where I am today. I can say that I am not as numb as I used to be. I'm still a little tough.
Yes, you are. But you're lovable. You are definitely lovable.
I'm still a little tough, and I think I'm softening, and I'm liking the softening that's happening in my life now. And I do. I'm just gonna put it out there. I think I'm a wife. I know I'm a wife.
You know you're a wife,
and
yes.
I look forward to meeting the person that God has for me.
Yes,
and it's that numbness and just getting over that. It's a work. It's a lot of work. Because you build up so much to protect yourself. And
I agree.
It's like now, like, God, I don't want to feel. When I start to feel stuff, I'm like, this is what I like to be numb. I don't want to feel that.
I love that. So first, let me just applaud you for your vulnerability and for your transparency, because not many people would be okay with spilling the tea.
Yeah.
As they say. But I, first of all, definitely want to applaud you. I give you kudos for that.
Well,
so
thank you.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
I think it also, well, let me ask you this. Did you have issues with guilt during that time? Like, because you said you stopped going to church, which I found so interesting, because so many of us was like, when we get into particular issues, we're like, well, I still want to go to church. I still love God. My relationship or my love for Christ doesn't necessarily change, but you did the opposite.
I did the opposite because I know who God is. And the thing is, like, how I'm going to sit up here and praise the Lord and I'm sitting over here doing this. I just, the conviction was there, but for me, the conviction was there for the relationship, but in order to maintain the relationship, because my flesh was stronger at that time than my faith, so I gave it to my flesh, and that led me like, I ain't going to church.
Right.
I ain't gonna be sitting up in no church being no hypocrite, which is so dumb. When you think about it now, when you're
after
healed,
the fact.
yeah, and this was like what, 12, 13 years ago.
Sure,
so when you think about it now, hindsight is 2020, and you think about it now, and it's like, oh man, I was like, girl, you were so dumb. But then I look at life this: we all walk through different things, and it just makes us the person or the people that we are now. And I walk through that, and there's somebody else that may be walking through the same thing. Girl, leave that man alone.
Leave that man alone, please.
God does not assign somebody else's husband to you.
I agree.
That's the truth.
But I definitely, again, I still applaud you for that, and the fact that now you are growing from that, because so many times we get stuck in situations and we never change. Yeah. We can complain and we'll say, oh, well, he'll change. That's one thing some people do.
Yeah.
They'll say, oh, he'll change, he'll leave, or we'll get back together. So the fact that you said, yeah, this is not right, I'm gonna get myself right and get my relationship right with Christ is most important. And now that you see the growth, and I guess really what's most important, you actually broke.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact, my Valerie definitely holds a wall, which is one reason I think why we also connected, because I was like that too from past experiences. But I can cry now. I cry more now than I probably ever have, but it's the menopause that we talked about. I think I feel different emotions now more than I ever have, because I used to be like really hard. Thank God I'm not the same Jada that I used to be, because Lord have mercy. But I understand, and I'm grateful that you finally broke that wall, because now God is really able to move through you and work through you So I'm so excited, and
Thank
congratulations on your new home, Val.
Thank you. And I'll say this: I love God. Me and him are like we cool,
Yes.
and I'm not running from him. I'm running to him, and that's the thing, and it just pushed me closer to after all of that, it pushed me closer to him, and then having the life now that I love my life. I can honestly say I love my life. But I would love to share it with somebody.
Absolutely.
But whatever God has for me is for me, and I do love my life. And so if you're out there and you're in relationships or situationships that you know that you're not supposed to be in, and that your flesh, you feel like your flesh is stronger than your faith, trust me, you can break that. You just have to walk away and not look back.
Yes.
Pastor Kim always say you got to block, delete, and keep it moving. Don't even entertain anything that is not of God, because it will suck you into a whirlwind of crap that
you can't get out of, or it's hard to escape.
It's just hard to get out of it. But I always say protect your heart, and keep your head up, and have an accountability partner.
Ooh, yes.
That's important.
That's
it's
very
having
important.
Somebody that you can talk to and discuss things with that's not going to run and tell your business.
I agree.
But then again, if you tell it yourself, you don't have to worry about nobody else.
There you go. Pastor Kim says it all the time. You can't tell anything that I haven't told already.
Exactly.
Well, that's true.
Well, this has been a fun episode.
Yes.
An enlightening one.
It has. Thank you for your transparency, Val.
Thank you,
and I know
Jada.
this, like you said, it was meant for so many women, because we deal with so many situations. Even if it wasn't specific to Valerie's situation, there are situations that you may be in that you don't know how to get out of, or if you should. The answer is yes. If it's not of God, and if it's not the right road that will take you to success, to growth, or in a positive manner, you need to get out of it ASAP. So we are so excited that you joined us today, and we cannot wait to see you on the next episode. I'm Jada.
I'm Valerie, and we are with Emotionally Available-ish.
See you next time.